Hey all, welcome back to another Less is More 2. I am Regaris. Sitting in our smeltery, forge, whatever you want to call it. This is a new area. This is actually all pretty much Ars Magica, with the exception, of course, with the delivery system being Ender Chest over there. So I thought I would show off the remote inventory system that comes along with Ars Magica. I've slightly figured it out. These are actually working, and they're just a facade, of course. Underneath each one is a cal factor, and you can see each of those also have gems. And what we have, if we look at what are these things called? Crystals, that's what it is. If we look at crystal, you'll see we have a bunch of different types from Ars Magica here. The ones I'm using are just a basic import crystal, and then a set export crystal, and those are the only ones I've used. I've tried using this final export crystal, but with a really small system like this is, it really doesn't work, because everything winds up going to that chest. Because what the final export crystal does is, when you put it on a chest, it's saying, okay, it's got nowhere else to go, so go to that chest. And I don't want it pulling out of here to go to that chest until after it's been smelted. So that just does not work here. Just to let you know. Now the import crystal, what it does is it tells it that it's allowed to be pulled into the system. Now what you need is a flicker habitat with a flicker focus item transport, and then the arcane focus is the purple one on top, and that one allows a stack of 32 to be moved through the system. And then there's lightning flickers in each side, and those just make it faster. So it's pretty quick with just 2. Pretty quick, and I don't really deal with a full stack, and 32 is pretty good with this, considering. So what we have is everything comes into this chest when I go down to the deep dark and mine, which we'll go take a look at that. I want to show you some of the differences in the different methods, and of course my preferred method with magic mods anyways. I just used an ender core if I really wanted to tear stuff up. But you'll see I have torn quite a bit of stuff up playing around. So what we have here is we have the import crystal. That tells the system. Okay, one last thing I want to mention, that when you put this up, you have to use your crystal wrench. That's this little doodad right here. And you have to link it with power. Alright, so we have power drawn over here to these mana batteries from the obelisk over here. Underneath the ground, about 2 blocks down, are these crystal conduits, or Ethereum conduits, and they lead all the way over here so that we can access the Ethereum over here. And I have all 3 types going. I find it's easier just to have them link over to the batteries instead of having to run over here and link this every time, because you have to link this to, or all, I don't think you need all 3, but it just helps out, I find, to put all 3 if you can. So it links this power, and then when you put a crystal on, to get it to attach to the network, you have to link first. You click your flicker and then your crystal, and that would link them, and you have to link every single one of them to the flicker habitat, or they're not going to be on the network. So this one tells it to pull everything into the network, the import crystal right here. And then on this one is a set export crystal, which is, it's a little misleading. The export crystal is saying that it is okay for the system to send these items that are listed in here. Each one of these has a little 9 slot inventory on it, that it's okay for these items to come to this inventory. Okay, so you'll see there's, yeah, I don't want to pull that off, but you can see there's another one on that side, and then there's another import crystal. Alright, so once that's done, or once the cal factor is done doing its deal, the import crystal is telling it that it's okay to import the item from this inventory back into the network. So then over here you see more set export crystals. This is saying that that it's okay for just, well, that doesn't need to be on. That's one I just added. That these items are okay to be pulled into this chest. So this one goes back over into our whole inventory system over there in the hut. I hope that makes sense. So this is a very small, easy example of what's possible. Give me just 1 second. I gotta hold on. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze a little bit. If we look at crystals, there are well, let's quit adjusting. Regulate export crystals. These are pretty neat. This could work with just about any mod. This is what I was talking about earlier, where I want to regulate how much of a certain type of item is in an inventory. That's what that one does. And then you got your bidirectional import, which is the set import is like the set export. It's saying only certain items can be pulled out of, say, this inventory to go into the network, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is a very small example. I really think that if you're stuck with just magic mods, and say you have Britannia and Ars Magica, which, I don't know, they seem to do a lot of the same things, they just do it differently. So, but if you're talking about an inventory system, this one would be very neat as far as getting things into the system and moving them around. And then of course you would have the Corporea network where you could remotely access those. Of course not with a GUI or anything, but it would still be pretty cool. So this is our little smeltery. It's everything, when I'm out mining and I come, or I have a little inner pouch that I can put everything in here, and it takes everything down. So I'm going to pause real quick, and when we come back, we'll be back down in the Deep Dark, and we'll take a look at the Ars Magica Quarry Spell, and then, of course, the Britannia double S. I answered it in a comment yesterday, something like that, about the Terra Shatter, and, of course, then you have the Stone of Temperance. The Terra Shatter at S rank is a 7x7. At double S, it's 9x9. This will limit it, no matter what its rank, down to a 3x3. But if you want to do more than that, then of course you're limited. And if I just wanted to do a 3x3, I would just use the Ars Magica Dig spell. So we'll be back in just a second when we're back in the Deep Dark. Welcome back. We're in the Deep Dark. Now, when I come in mine in the Deep Dark, typically I will equip myself with the Tainted Blood Pendant, and that gives emptiness, which keeps mobs, evil mobs, from spawning within 128 blocks. Does suck some mana, but we're okay with that, so I do wear it. And I also bring, if I'm mining from the top down, if I'm using a Quarry Spell, I have a couple of different void tiers. This one holds stone, so we'll take that one with us. And this one holds cobblestone. You'll see there's a lot more stone, because typically I dig a lot, down near bedrock. And the cobblestone is pretty much all at the surface, except with what we'll talk about right here, and that is which I don't even have it loaded, the Quarry Spell. I call this one Quarryness. I've written this spell and made this spell a couple of times, and you can see that it's, or by the little symbol, it's a projectile, zone, area effect, gravity, and I think there's 3 durations, and then a feather, touch, and a dig. And most of the time it does silk touch, but a lot of times it just, especially when you do it this as long as from the top down, and you'll see how long this thing actually runs. It takes 2 casts of this basically to get to bedrock, but you'll almost be at bedrock by the time the first cast gets done. So if we fire off our Quarry Spell, you'll see it does a 3x3 section. I cannot figure out how to make it any bigger than this. And it would probably help if I load the right spell. At least I froze everything right there. I'm like, okay, why aren't blocks breaking? So we shoot that down, and it starts doing a, a dig down. And what we have is a void tier for stone. I think there's some stone, yeah. Stone and cobblestone. And what these do is they will suck up all of the cobblestone or all of the stone in your inventory and leave a stack of or 1 stack of whatever this is. So just the smart thing to do is put it in the last 2 slots of your inventory. That way it'll burn up everything that's in front of it. Yeah. Oh, shoot. It's really going down here. Okay, so let's catch up. So you can see it's still going down. Now, a lot of times this will glitch, and it'll just start spewing out cobblestone instead of stone, even though it is supposed to be silk touched. I don't know why, but it does. So now you can see off of 1 cast just how close we are to bedrock, because this is an area down here that I've been mining with the Terra Shatter, so you can see how far down it goes. So your second cast will definitely get you all the way to bedrock, and then it would probably go more, but kind of everything froze up there for a second. So you can see from the little dirt thing that it would have it's still going, and it would actually go past bedrock, but it's kind of stopping right there. So you can see how far down just 2 casts gets you. Now this area, some of it was done with Quarry when I was messing around with it. The blah 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 blah. What I would do when I initially started is I would come out and with the dig spell, area effect, dig out a 3x3 section, and then kind of give myself a platform, and then from that platform let it quarry down. That's fast and it's okay, and it's really nice with the void tiers because it will keep up with that slow moving kind of progress. You'd start to get into trouble when you come down here and you power up your Terra Shatter, because as you can see, this is going to do a 7x7 section. You do not aim in the center of a 7x7 section when you're going what is this, horizontally. When you're going vertically, yes, but when you're going horizontally, you don't. You just aim like you would normally dig, which is in the spot right in front of you. So it's going to do a 7x7, so just come over 4 and then dig, and it's going to knock out a whole chunk. So you can see really quickly how you're going to fill up your inventory with stone, and it's really not going to keep up with how fast you get it. Now imagine you're doing a 9x9. Doing a 9x9 section of territory. So let's get rid of the stuff that we would normally get down here. We're not going to get that. We're not going to get dirt. We're not going to get marble. So we can put that one up there. This one here. So really your sweet level that I've found is this level right here. This is, of course, 7 levels above bedrock. So if we look, it's our feet level is at 8. The problem with the deep dark is doesn't matter what level you're at, you're going to run into lava. If we run over here real fast, you can see these little slots. These little slots will hold lava. They could be empty or they'll hold water. And they're just, you can see a bunch there. This whole section right here I had to clean out with lava, so I would get yourself some means of getting rid of lava. I just carry an extrapolated bucket with me. You could always pump it out if you need it. Of course, we don't really need it, so I don't keep it. But that you're going to run into that a lot. It's just, you can't get away from that shit. It's, excuse my French, it's just everywhere. Everywhere. So this is probably the quickest way to mine other than a quarry. The only downside, of course, is that you do need to be here. It doesn't work if you're not here, of course. That's the one benefit to an ender quarry or any quarry. The only thing I would say that's faster, but then, of course, you're going to get less of some things. Like you're not going to get double your diamonds, and that's with the frame quarry. You're not going to get double diamonds. You can see my inventory's full right now. And it's like it's not deleting stuff. There we go. Every once in a while it just kind of freezes up. You'll find you get... this magnet is weird. Oop. It shoots things like over your head and throws them way behind you. Like when you're digging this way. But you see just how quick this 7x7 is. If I had a dev null or something that got rid of stone more, then I would go to a 9x9. But really, the 7x7 is about as quick as I am capable of handling. And even then, I have to break occasionally just to let it suck up the stuff. And then whenever you get full stacks, you may want to pull those out and then send them over in your... fucking spider crawling on my arm. Ugh. Oh, I hate spiders, man. They're so nasty. They're just eerie, creepy. So whenever you get a little a stack of something, just pop it over into your what you call it, smeltery. Sorry, I'm having spider flashbacks. So yeah, this is how I've been mining a majority of this. Is I just come down here, watch a video, and you know, dig in between watching something that interests me, or just the whole while listening to the video. Am I jammed up again? No. Why is that thing floating around? Catch up. Sometimes I hate that. I don't want to get that coin to suck because that thing is really annoying from Reliquary unless they fixed it. I have not tried it in this one to see if they fixed it ever. Sometimes that light just doesn't want to land. So we're getting to the end of this one. I probably got one or two more in me, the stuff that I want to do, and I've been thinking about either going the 1.94 route or just waiting a little bit longer for the 1.10s to come out and be official. Where's the hole up? Here we go. Here's one. Wait for that to be official, and when that is official, then of course move over. Even though I heard a lot of the 1.94s will already work with 1.10, I don't want to take that chance and have a bunch of glitchy stuff or stuff that doesn't work. So I'm waiting for everything to officially be 1.10. Pretty much every mod that is in this pack, with the exception of Railcraft, which I have not even really used this time around, is available right now. And some ones that are kind of new that I've not seen before, but they mimic some of the mods that are here, but they're not exactly the same, but they're similar. So let me know if you want to just go ahead and move on 1.94 when once I finish up here, or if you want us to just wait for 1.10 to come out. I think it's going to be pretty quick with 1.10, but there is no telling. I don't think there's a huge, you know, mess they have to go through like 1.7 to 1.8 or 1.9. So guys, I appreciate you coming by. Hope this helps some of you out. Till next time, I will see y'all later.